Good day and welcome back to our channel. This is the best fashion tutorials. Today we'll be taking you on how to sew a shirt, on how to cut a normal button shirt. I will upload the sewing video also, so I would like you to subscribe so that when I upload the sewing video you get notified. So this one is a female shirt. This is the measurement we'll be using. Our shoulder will be 16, our sleeve will be 25.5, our bust 40, the shirt length 30, neck 16, stomach or waist 36, then our hip 41. So to start any cutting, you make sure the edge of your fabric is straight. I've trimmed it already. So now for the shirt, we'll fold here. We'll be folding here with 1.5. 1.5 inches. You measure your 1.5 and fold it. One 1.5 inches you fold and you create a line. Originally I was supposed to iron it, but there's no iron, so I just create a line so that it will lie down. Okay, so now you measure your shoulder. First of all, remove your button allowance, which is 1 inch. Button allowance for shirts is 1 inch. You remove your 1 inch button allowance. And you draw a straight line. So now our shirt length is 30, so we get our 30 inches from here. 30. This is 30. Then we'll be giving 1 inch allowance for the folding, for the down folding. 1 inch allowance. Now you draw a straight line. Alright, so next we're coming to our shoulder. Our shoulder is 16. Measure 16 inches, which is 8. So we slant it by 2.5. You draw your line. Mind you, if your shoulder is up to 20, you can slant by 3 inches. I'm using 2.5 because we have a small shoulder. So we measure our 8 again, then add ½ inch allowance. Now we'll come to the armhole. We'll measure down 6.5 inches. 6.5 inch here. Then we'll come to the chest. Our chest is 40, and our bust, which is 10 inches. Mind you, we are measuring our chest not from the beginning of the fabric, but from our button allowance. So we measure our 10 and then add ½ inch allowance, ½ inch sewing allowance. Because it's a shirt, we'll not be joining it like the normal native. So now we'll get our hip line and then the waist line also, or the stomach line. So for the stomach, we'll be using 7 inches here, and for the hip, we'll be using 7 inches, making 14. So we said our stomach is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9. So we measure our 9. Remember, we're measuring from the 1 inch allowance. Measure our 9 inches. Then we give our normal allowance of ½ inch. Then for the hip again, we repeat the same measurement we had at the up, or at the bust, which is 40, which is 10, and then we'll add ½ inch allowance. So now we match our lines together. We connect our lines together. Then at this base, we slant it with 3 inches. We create a curve. So your curve will go this way. Create a very, very good slant. And then connect your line to the hip line. Now we'll come to our armpits. We draw a straight line from the allowance of the shoulder. You remember we did shoulder 8 inches, then we added the allowance of ½ inch. From that ½ inch, you draw a straight line, and then you curve your armpits. I'm sorry the chalk is not too visible, but I believe with the voice you will understand what I'm doing. So that is it, and then we'll cut. So in case you've not subscribed to our channel, this is the Best Fashion Tutorials. On this channel we teach you everything you need to know about sewing. We sew shirts, we sew suits, we sew natives, we sew senator wears, we cut and sew waistcoats, and every other thing you need to learn. So I'll urge you to subscribe so that you learn with us. And we also have a WhatsApp channel, a WhatsApp page. I'll be dropping the link on the description box so that you can join and get updates from us. Alright, so now it's time to cut the back. So now we are cutting the back. You place the front on top of the back. Now you will note 2 things. First is that we gave 1 inch allowance here when we were cutting our front, right? So that same 1 inch we'll replace it back before we cut our back. Make sure the 1 inch goes all the way up, so there will be 1 inch downwards for the button to overlap. Then on this point we are removing ½ inch from our shoulder line, ½ inch from our shoulder line, and we'll cut a straight line. We'll cover it and cut out the same shape of the shirt. The same shape exactly. Unlike the native where you cut it straight and cut a back flap, the shirt you cut it differently. You cut the back flap differently and join it together. So that is it. Shape your work. Then we'll be putting the back flap. We're cutting the back flap. So now you measure to know how many inches you're going to use. The overlap is 4 inches. So measure half inch here to the edge, which is 4. You add extra 4, so we are using 8 inches. 8 inches by add extra 1 inch here, or let's use 8 inches by 10. That's what we are going to be cutting out for the back flap. 8 inches by 10. So we'll use the opposite side of the material. The opposing side of the material is what we use to cut it out. Draw a straight line. Mark your 8 inches. Let's give 8.5. We'll shape it off later. We'll shape it off later. Then 10 inches. So this box now will be giving us our back flap. All right. You place your back gently on it. Let it overlap with ½ inch. Then I told you earlier on that our overlapping is 4 inches. You mark your 4 inch here. Mark your 4 inch here. Then rule a straight line. If you have any questions, any place you don't understand, don't hesitate to message me on our WhatsApp group. Join the WhatsApp group with the link in the description below so that you can ask me questions and I will answer you accordingly. Then your overlap is ½ inch. Now we measure our shoulder. Which is 16. We'll add half inch allowance to it. Then we'll cut. So that is it. Okay, then our neck. Our neck is 16. Mark 3 inches here. Mark 4.5 here. Create our curve. Then we'll measure our neck to know if it will give us our 16. This is bigger than 16. So we'll reduce it while cutting. We dip here with half inch. And we measure. And we'll have 16 and a half. So that is all for this. We'll now be cutting our sleeve. Our sleeve will be a short sleeve. Our width will be 9.5. We give a slant of 5 inches. We have the sleeve length is 10, so you'll be adding an allowance for the folding. Or let's say we'll turn it over. We'll turn it over, so use allowance of 1 inch, making 11. Then our bicep is 14. Add 1 inch. Then we'll rule a straight line. Alright, now you create a curve from here to your 5 inches that you earlier marked, which will give us our armhole curve. If you have your French curve, you can use it to get it. As me, I prefer using my free hand to get my armhole curve. At this point, you join it together with this. Then you cut. So if you've not subscribed to our channel, please try and do so you get a notification whenever we post a new video. Use this other one to cut the second one. All right, so I think we've come to the end of our video. Thank you for sticking with us to the end of the video. See you on our next episode. Thank you.